Hey guys, how are you? Um, I actually intended to do a new moon report, the new moon in Scorpio, which came around on the 4th, but unfortunately I fell foul of a little bit of Scorpio and I got a little bit of a bug. So it's the first time I've felt well enough really to deliver this. So what I'm going to do is have a look at the new moon, but also look at this full moon that's coming up, and also we've got an eclipse of that moon on the sort of 18th, 19th, depending on where you are. Okay, so I'm going to have a little look at that, and I'm just going to get my notes up now, guys, so I can give you more detail. Okay, you know, that new moon in Scorpio, we know about new moons. To me, new moon, it sort of draws. We're just seeing the light, right? Um, we're moving from that balsamic stage, and then we see the light. Okay, now Scorpio energy definitely focuses the mind, right? And it does sharpen the senses, particularly because we've got Mars in Scorpio, guys, and we've also got very sort of tight connection with Mercury in Scorpio. Mercury made that shift into Scorpio on the 6th, a couple of days ago, 3 days maybe. And so now, it's up there and it's doing its thing. I'm just going to very quickly just get up the chart. Okay, apologies for this. So I'm feeling that most definitely there's going to be more behind the scenes stuff, and that actually is going to be revealed, fully revealed. I think it's already been detected, and I've been sort of talking about how all of us need to be our own detectives at the moment. You've got to get the magnifying glass down, look at the small print, guys. Um, and Scorpio energy is said to be the BS detector, right? And in my view, certainly the new moon did set us up for a getting down, getting deep, really, and getting real, though. Okay, and seeing through any sort of half truths or deception, and that applies personally and professionally, guys, as well. It's not just about what's going on globally, it does talk about your personal lives as well. If there are certain things that you felt were not correct, and the word suspicion and these sort of things come up with Scorpio. But Scorpio is about passion as well, and because we've got Mars in Scorpio, guys, Mars, it's Aries energy, yeah, it's warrior energy, always wants to be the first out of the trap to catch the rabbit. This is Mars, and ultimately, we want to get going, and there's a degree of impatience almost, because it is an instinctive energy as Mars, so we do want to rush forward and get to the bottom of things, I feel. Um, Now, rushing forward um, into something that's not actually been, um, if you're not 100% uh, comfortable, for instance, with something, then I feel that this Scorpio energy is going to help us sort of dig a little bit deeper. Okay, now Uranian energy at the moment. Okay, talked about Uranus. I do feel that there's going to be a few shocks and surprises as well. We're into Scorpio energy now, but as it starts to penetrate into the subconscious, the collective, into consciousness, if you like, when it's burst into consciousness, at the end of the day, yeah, I think that we could certainly have a few shocks and surprises. What's also very interesting as well is the climatic energy that's happening. And it wouldn't surprise me one little bit is when we get to sort of mid-month and beyond that we might have a few tales of, yeah, Earthshift possibly, quake, certainly. There's a lot of seismic activity around. We've got volcanoes going off in several parts of the world now. Um, but I do feel that, yeah, could give us a bit of a shock, guys. Doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be Mother Nature. I mean, crikey, we've had a lot of non-natural shocks recently, haven't we? So, we need to be mindful of that, and we also need to be mindful of the contradictions, I think, right? Because I think we've had a lot of those contradictions, lots of flip-flopping around with the decision making, and that could apply at home as well, not quite sure about what we want to do, or partnerships, kids, whatever. But now more than any time, I think it is really crucial that we do get to the core of what's actually happening, right? And I think the new moon did usher in the energy to allow us to do that. And after all, it is Scorpio season. And because we've got this opposition to Uranus in Taurus, as I said, um, it's about us looking more closely at how we preserve um, the things that are most dear to us. Uranian energy in Taurus, okay? Um, yeah, we could get a little bit tense around, this sort of mid-month. I think November, there's going to be quite a lot sort of coming out now with regards, what our next step is going to be, okay? And, there's only you that knows that, so you've got to go inside and you've got to decide what is your next step. All right, it's very important. Now, we know that Scorpio energy is all about eliminating the unnecessary, that colonic flush that I've spoken about before. And I do feel that eliminating the unnecessary, definitely, and getting down to what really matters is something that a lot of us are going to be thinking about now. We had that, excuse me just a second, guys. We had that Mars Mercury conjunction, okay? And at the time of the new moon, it was actually in the 4th house on the London chart, so a very protective house, moon energy, all right? So emotional, a very emotional, moody sort of energy. And certainly with Scorpio, because it's so psychologically based as well, it can be quite tricky, all right? So, yeah, I think questions now concerning family as that new moon sort of dawns, and safety, I think they're going to need to be answered. I think people are going to demand transparency now. There are definitely going to be more cries for transparency. I do anticipate accelerated tensions, right, building, for us all. Particularly, I think, if we're talking globally now, around children and mandates and, pregnant women and lots of things, that we need to answer. So wherever your tension's lying, guys, expect your comfort zones to be given a bit of a workout, I think. We've got Pluto, we know, ruler of Scorpio, in Capricorn till 2024. And, Capricorn energy, it's solid. I mean, it's a cardinal earth sign, but we've also got Mars, cardinal fire signs, and of course we've got the Mercury conjunction, so it is going to be tricky. We have got, I believe, forgive me, you just have to bear with me a minute, I think we've still got Saturn square Mars in the sky, if I've done that correctly. Just bear with me 1 second, guys. I'm just going to open this up. That's it. Okay. Okay, 1 second. Sorry. Let's have a little look at this. Yep, I just want to see the grids. That's it. We've got it. Yeah. So we've got Saturn square both Mercury and Mars. We've got Neptune square the moon, right? So there can be confusion and a lot of steam, there's a lot of water there. And as I said, we've got Saturn Square, the key players really for me. Buzz now, obviously Mercury having made that move into Scorpio, so deep, penetrative, looking inside, really, you know, doing the post-mortem, guys, literally. We're having a good look now. Whether or not it's personal relationships, guys, whether or not you feel they've come to an end, we're looking for a new beginning, whether or not you want to kickstart something that's ended again, whatever this is about, or going back and readdressing um, maybe decisions that we've sort of maybe less informed decisions from the past. I think now with Scorpio, it's going to allow us to, yeah, sort of again more research, research. Okay, and that's not just you and I mean, there are clinical people all over the world now that are actually embracing this Scorpio energy, and they want to look a little bit deeper as well. So, all the while that we've been going through things, we've had this Uranus square, um, Saturn, right? Now, we know it's going to hit Christmas Eve, and again, we've got these eclipses coming as well now. Lunar eclipse 19th of November, same day as the full moon in Taurus. All right, Taurus, what's dear to us? Hello. So we've been thinking about and examining deeply, I feel, and then when we get to this sort of 18th, 19th energy of eclipses, and there, I think it could be a bit tricky, guys. So it could be radical. There's no doubt that the astrology is quite tense for sure. I do anticipate more radical and, as I say, maybe shocking action on whatever side that is. But either way, um, you know, it is a bit of a global nightmare that we're living through at the moment. So buckle up, really, is what I want to say. You need to buckle up, guys. And I wanted to say, have you got a plan B? That you need to ask yourself that question. Have you got a plan B? And do you need a plan B? Okay. Particularly around finances. This is Taurus energy. Surviving financially, as well as survival instinct, right? As well as fixing the roof and doing the decorating. It's about surviving on the long term. So it fits your work, it fits your money, guys, it's your resources. It is a good time to deal with authorities. I've been talking about this for a few months. Again, I want to say, don't sit on it, don't dwell on it, get on with it. And the reason I feel that you'd have a favourable outcome, obviously depending on your situation, is I think frankly the powers that be know that we're going to have a big financial problem. Okay, and if you can deal with it now, I think they'll snap your hands off, right, frankly. So if you do need to do that, offer what you can afford to offer, and you just get yourself feel more secure in that respect, financially secure. Taurus, as I said, it's a fixed earth energy. I need to feel planted, I need to feel rooted, and if this is the way you can do it, then do it. Okay, so Saturn is direct in Aquarius, and we have got a situation where boundaries need to be drawn. Now, with Scorpio energy, Scorpio is about drawing the line. Scorpio energy is about desire, okay, our desires, okay. Now, Scorpio can, you know, I often say this to clients. If we were dogs or a cat or something, we'd just have a little sniff. We'd meet somebody, we'd meet a dog along the way, we'd have a sniff, and we'd know immediately whether or not that worked for us or not. And the thing about evolution, particularly through relationship, of course, which is the seventh house energy, we relate, we connect, and the eighth house energy tells us, about that interaction. Um, is it going to sustain? You know, the thing about Scorpio energy, um, Scorpio is about true marriage. It's about deep, uh, passionate, obsessive sometimes relating. All right, and Scorpio sometimes doesn't want to let go because of that obsessive, passionate energy. And of course, it's about sex, guys. If you're not in the right relationship, good sex can be a real drug, it's a problem. Um, you know, with Scorpio energy, we do have a tendency to turn ourselves inside out. I use the phrase a maggot in an apple. When we get something in here, you know, it drills down, and you know, we've got to work it through. So I think, you know, Pluto, at the end of the day, it is clear now. We've got a little bit of an aspect to the ascendant, but I'm actually all right with that. I'm not picking up anything, no, too negative at the minute. However, as we move forward into the month, okay, um, I feel as if we've got some heavier sort of energy coming forward, guys. So I'm just going to move this forward a little bit, and just bear with me 1 second, guys, if you don't mind. I just want to um, make sure that I've got this right for you. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so I have, right, just 1 second, guys. Let me just get this right. Okay. Right, so Pluto, as I said, is clear, but we have got these squares, right? Saturn, we've got Jupiter sextile, thank goodness, the moon, this full moon, but we have got Saturn square, that Mars and that Mercury energy, and I feel there's going to be more defiance, right? I think there's going to be um, a stepping up, guys, and more people recognising that um, they may have, as I said, gone towards something without actually looking at it carefully. But I think more people will be looking at it carefully. Um, so again, anything that's been hidden from a personal standpoint, a personal perspective, or public view could well surface, right? And I think we need to prepare for that. And I think there could be some strong reactions, and very prompt ones, with this Mars energy. This new moon, as I said, it's pulling back the curtain really, and I think that this struggle, in a way, can help us work some magic, right? Because Scorpio energy, as I said before, is the alchemist. We can make some wine out of the water. We do have the ability to create. It is alchemy. Um, mm, and we're very aware, and that's why medics and medicine comes under Scorpio as well, guys. That microscopic stuff, molecular stuff. So mm, alchemy, genetics, ironically, is also scorpionic, right? So, and if you didn't catch I did a blog last year on the eclipses. Um, Never underestimate the power of an eclipse, and I don't think we should, especially when we've got this on the full moon. So, wow. So again, yeah. Um, and I think now Venus has also made a move into Capricorn again. Yeah, Venus, feelings, our senses. What is it that we sense about, the information that we've been given? Okay, possibly. How do we feel? How do we sense? And I think that with Capricorn, it is a cardinal, Earth, of course. Um, with that Capricorn energy, yeah, again, in Venus, yeah, I think it's going to be a very different vibe as we're moving forward. And I think with Mars there, um, it's very much about wanting the truth, really, and standing firm in that. Okay, so as I said, home truths, more importantly, governmental truths. Okay, and my question is, do you have enough faith in yourself and your personal beliefs, your God, whatever it is, whatever does it for you, or have you got faith in the government, right? And if you had great faith in the government, how do you feel now? And I think a lot of people are going to be looking at this as we're moving through this Scorpio energy. Um, so yeah, it is going to be it's going to be a bit tricky. I think it's going to be informative, but I think it's going to be difficult for some on a psychological level. I think it can be quite challenging. Um, I do anticipate more files being dumped online, the secret files, if you like, that's that clandestine stuff. A lot more whistleblowing. I think people are going to come forward now. It's gone on for a long time, and I think people are actually, again, waking up with this Uranian energy. Don't forget, Scorpio does talk about, the Earth's lifeblood, really, oil, right? Gas, petrol, the minerals, all the rest of it, but particularly oil. Um, it does talk about virus, of course it does, and mutation, scorpionic. Um, so we do need to fill the tank if we can, not panic, because I mean, your panic was, they hit the panic button because of course you recognise that um, your petrol goes out of date, so they just wanted you to get all the old petrol so they didn't leave any money. I mean, this is how it works, guys, so don't be worrying too much about that. Um, so yeah, virus, mutation, situations around oil. It's important that we strengthen the immune systems, obviously, as we're going into the winter. I'm a big fan of vitamin D, high strength vitamin C, zinc, okay. And I'm also taking another supplement which is called NAC. It's a high one. It removes any toxins or metallurgic stuff from the body. They call it NAC. And it is actually, it smells like sulphur, but it does do the job. So if you do need a bit of a colon cleanse, guys, with this Scorpio energy, and rid yourself of any toxicity, which is also Scorpio, I would suggest maybe you check that out, you do your own research and see if it'll work with you. It is very important at the moment as well, I think, as health systems begin to break down, right? Staffing problems, so on and so forth. It is important that you strengthen your immune system. I'm also saying that check your medication, guys, as you're going into Christmas period. Because if you need more, get more. Just make sure that you are covered, that all your bases are covered, guys. I anticipate a lot more border control now, not necessarily around the UK or Spain or whatever, but I am seeing it in other parts of the world. Obviously, I'm extremely concerned about my children, but they are okay at the moment. Okay, so yeah, there could be further disruption around sort of locking you down. All right, I'm not, fingers crossed that they're not going to do that, but there is a possibility, and I think that the more energy is created within the collective that stands against a lot of the protocols until this point, I think it could get quite difficult, and it depends on how the government at the end of the day is going to deal with it, and obviously it's individual governments. So yeah, it could be a little bit disruptive, guys, but hopefully you're going to be okay. But please remember, food, that could be a problem. Um, I caught a guy this morning, an Aboriginal guy, that was talking about how they're coming for the water. They're coming up to Northern Australia. They want the water, right? They want, and so, it's not getting any easier. And whether or not you're a person who, I don't like the word conspiracy theorist, because I actually see someone who is termed to be a conspiracy theorist is someone that really does the homework, right, and then makes a balanced decision on the research that they've done. Okay, so maybe conspiracy to one person but not necessarily to another. Okay, so we've still got the lunar nodes in Gemini and Sagittarius until January, about the 18th of next year. So staying informed is paramount. Maybe leaving that old truth behind. I spoke about that at the very beginning when I put this the Aquarian energy on the YouTube. So if you didn't see that, maybe go back and check it out, guys. So yeah, they are going to move in these nodes around that sort of 18th of Jan into Scorpio and Taurus. So that's when we're really going to get down to it. I mean, you can see what's going on now. We've got the Scorpio, Uranus in Taurus. Yeah, so, you know, lunar nodes are going to shift there as well because there's a lot more coming. You know, and it has been difficult, I feel, with Neptune. Um, you know, Neptune is, of course, retrograde in the sky, still in Pisces, and is trining the Sun now. So let's just see if we can, you know, see through the fog, get rid of all the seven veils, guys, and see it for what it is. All right. But I'm going to be doing a little bit of a report on the full moon in Taurus, a little bit more detailed, but I just wanted to not waste the notes that I've done for this, guys. And although on an aspect levels things have moved slightly, I'd like to think that it's pretty much as we said. So it's coming, you can feel it building, a lot of psychological pressure. We do need to be careful about addiction issues as well. You know, Scorpio's about drugs, whether or not that's cocaine, alcohol, you know, crystal meth, marijuana, whatever's your tipple, you do need to be careful, because I do think that if you do have weaknesses in this area, we can go slightly over the top, so we need to draw a line there as well. You know, Neptune is the house of addictions, guys, and we have got that square, but it is trining the Sun in Scorpio. So yeah, I know we're coming up to Christmas, but we just got to keep it together, guys. So if you know anybody who's mental health problems, who does struggle, just keep an eye out for them, and you know, hopefully we can all come through this and come out the other way relatively unscathed. So I'm sending you love, guys. I'm sending you light. I'm sending you loads of strength for this journey. But I'll see you soon with a full moon report in Taurus. And a big shout out again to my young allies. Bless you. I love sharing my information with you and vice versa. So please keep it coming. If you would like a private reading with me, you know where to get me, guys. So by all means, come in and I'll sort that out for you. Thanks a lot. Take it easy, guys. I'm sending you loads of love. Bye now.